let's get right into this, man. The Philadelphia Eagles lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the entire Philadelphia fan base, they're going nuts. All right. They're absolutely losing their mind. Jalen Hurts has 27 turnovers since 2023. That is the most in the NFL. Okay. It's a clear indication that Jalen Hurts may have a turnover problem, an issue with turnovers, but I'm here to tell you guys, um, we never turn our backs on our quarterbacks. Okay. You never turn your back on your quarterback. And it seems to me as if the Philadelphia Eagles fan base, they're turning their back. Excuse me. They're turning their back on Jalen Hurts. Excuse me. They're turning their back. The entire fan base, they're pretty much they pretty much had it up to here. They've had it up to here with Jalen Hurts and his turnovers. And I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair. Bless you, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I think it's unfair because Jalen Hurts, okay, he didn't have a great performance today, but he's missing both of his weapons. We're missing our top two receivers. Okay, first off, it's early in the season. It's early in the season. It's extremely early in the season, okay? The Philadelphia Eagles are really banged up right now. Jalen Hurts, you take away any quarterback's two weapons, top weapons, dynamic playmakers. You take that away, of course, there's going to be struggles. Okay? You look at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has had since college. Jalen Hurts has had the same offensive coordinator once. I mean, in consecutive years. It only happened one time. Okay? Let's talk about it. The Philadelphia Eagles are mismanaging Jalen Hurts. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles have a history of struggling to keep their top franchise guys, their highest paid players. They've had problems with every franchise quarterback they've had. They've always have problems. If it's they have problems keeping these guys happy. Look, whether there's getting them weapons. You look at Donovan McNabb, right? Donovan McNabb did not have any offensive weapons his entire career. Okay? Let's talk about it now. Okay? Look at Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz did not have any weapons his entire career outside of Alshon Jeffrey for a couple years. The Philadelphia Eagles sabotage their quarterbacks all the time, and they're doing it with Jalen Hurts. Why can't you find this guy an offensive coordinator? Get him a coordinator and keep them together. Camaraderie. The Philadelphia Eagles, once again, now I will say this, the Philadelphia Eagles have done an outstanding job with getting Jalen Hurts his weapons. But what does that matter if you cannot get him the coordinator to mesh it all together? You know what happens? You start playing hero ball, buddy ball, right? Backyard football. The car, the roof. Yeah, man, my kids, bro. Cry Eagles cry. I mean, look, the Philadelphia Eagles, right? They do this with their quarterbacks, okay? They sabotage their quarterbacks. Yo, what's the word? What's the word? Look, the Philadelphia Eagles sabotage their quarterbacks, right? And look, I understand the frustration with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, yes, Jalen Hurts. Since 2003, he has 27 turnovers. That's uncharacteristic of Jalen Hurts. That's not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts do not turn the ball over. What is going on? Coaching staff. We know the head coach is horrendous. Okay. We know there's some friction with the quarterback and the head coach. We know that. Then you look at the offensive coordinators. Every year it's a different guy. Every year it's a different coordinator, bro. Every year. That's not how stable organizations are ran. The Philadelphia Eagles, look, if they pay a quarterback, they're going to do something to drastically negate and halt his progression as a professional NFL player, quarterback. That's what they're doing with Jalen Hurts right now, bro. It's asinine. It's unbelievable that the Philadelphia Eagles, as people claim that this is one of the top 5 ran franchises. They cannot keep an offensive coordinator. They can't. They can't keep an offensive coordinator. I mean, come on, imagine if you're Jalen Hurts, right? And ever since college, you've had a different offensive coordinator. Bro, it's already hard enough, right? Being able to even make the field, right? And be better than the rest of your peers and actually start. That's hard enough. Now you have to overcome the multitude of coordinators. Bro, imagine learning a NFL playbook every year since college. Imagine learning a new playbook every year since college. I'm just not smart enough to do it. I just can't do it, bro. I personally can't do that, bro. Like, seriously, I'll be honest, bro. That's too much, man. On top of being able to having to perform. Now I get it. Jalen Hurts makes a lot of money, so that comes with it. But $200 million, a $200 million contract, and you better be able to do some rocket science for me as well, So I mean, bro, I'm not making excuses for Jalen Hurts. But when you have a guy that's supposedly your guy, bro, you have to make sure that not only he has weapons, but he's protected and he has everything at his disposal to succeed. At this time right now, Jalen Hurts does not. Okay. And hey, bro, I'm telling y'all right now, let's talk about this right now, okay? Because it just popped up. And I'm gonna be honest, and I don't care what anybody got to say or how anybody feel about this. There's a large group in Philadelphia that wants Jalen Hurts to diminish, be gone. They hate this guy. They do not like Jalen Hurts. There's a large percentage of people that have been rooting for Jalen Hurts to fail since high school, okay? There's a large group of individuals that want Jalen Hurts to fail because he replaced a white quarterback. I'ma say it. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's unfortunate, okay? But I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell you guys, the minute Jalen Hurts have bad performances in bad games, bad stretch, We haven't seen it in a minute. We haven't seen it in a while. Okay, with Jalen Hurts losing games or just being horrible. We have not seen it. And it's good. Now that we witness it, we get to see how individuals really feel. Because a lot of these fans, dog, I never heard of them, never seen them. I know they ain't real fans. I could look at them and the way that they talk, they ain't really like that, bro. Y'all can't, y'all pulled up when the Eagles started winning. So it's interesting to see. Okay, it's interesting to see the opinions of just the entire fan base, right? Because I know we have an influx of new fans. So it's interesting to see how they feel about Jalen Hurts. Because these are all new fans, right? That we have, or bandwagoners, whatever you want to call it. But the influx of new fans, I love it. I enjoy it. But in these next coming days and weeks leading up to the next time the Philadelphia Eagles play, the narrative is drastically shifting on Jalen Hurts. People are saying Jalen Hurts is trash. They're saying, "Oh, I knew it all along." So I mean, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Look, somebody just said Jalen Hurts is trash. You see, you can't call the winningest quarterback in the last couple years trash. Okay, now there's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people who doubt. I get that. That's perfectly fine. But the fact of the matter is this: I never turn my back on my quarterback. I don't care if our starting quarterback was Tim Tebow. Nigga asked me, why am I shouting? We just got blew out by the Buccaneers, boy. What you mean, why am I shouting? We just lost to the Bucks. The Bucks always, bro, the Bucks always clapping our cheeks, man. I'm going to be honest, bro. They clapped our cheeks twice in the playoffs, right? The last couple years. Man, bro, come on now, bro. We beat them last year in the regular season, thank God. But we always losing to the Bucks, man. They ask him, why am I, bro? When we lost to him in 2002, man, in an NFC Championship game, bro. I just really do not like the Buccaneers. I hate playing them. I hope we never play them again, man. Honestly, I just don't like. For some reason, they have our number. Okay, for some reason, they have our number. And you going to Tampa depleted already? Yeah, man, they definitely handed it to us, man. Baker Mayfield, I love his story, man. I love his story. He was counted out. I love his story, man, for sure. I definitely do. No hate as far as the Buccaneers, but man, I'm just tired of losing to the Bucks. I'm just tired of losing to the Bucks. But I will say this, man. Jalen Hurts, you got to whoop on Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield done got you a couple times, Jalen, and I know Jalen don't like that. I mean, come on now. Of all the quarterbacks you lose until you lose to Baker Mayfield. Now, I like Baker Mayfield, but still. But man, look, Jalen Hurts didn't have all of his weapons. Jalen Hurts needs weapons to succeed. He needs players around him that highlight what he's good at, right? Because yeah, Jalen Hurts has his limitations. We all do, okay? But it's Jalen Hurts' limitations. He knows what he can't do. He knows he's limited to a certain capacity as a quarterback. But that's that limitation that he has on his game is what makes him work so hard, and that's what makes him who he is, and that's what you love about Jalen Hurts. The fact that he has that chip on his shoulder, okay? He has the intangibles. He has the intangibles that you're just simply not going to find in a lot of quarterbacks, right? So as much as we want to talk about Jalen Hurts turnovers, let's talk about Nick Sirianni. Let's talk about the offensive coordinators, bro. Like, can we get a stable coordinator? He's been, bro, again, since college. He's had the same coordinator in consecutive years just once, man. Okay? What are we doing here? What are we doing here with Jalen Hurts? Because that's how you ruin quarterbacks. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles know they have a fucking history of doing this. That's how you ruin quarterbacks. I'll give you guys a couple of ways you ruin quarterbacks, right? This is how you ruin quarterbacks. You ruin quarterbacks by, one, first and foremost, not giving them protection. If you don't give them protection, a quarterback with Hall of Fame potential will be a bust and be out of the league if you don't protect them. Okay? So if your quarterback needs protection, Jalen Hurts has that. Check. Right? That's one thing he needs. Okay, because after a certain amount of hits from a young quarterback, it messes with you mentally. It messes with that clock that you usually most quarterbacks should have in the back of their head that lets them know, oh, there's pressure. Release the ball, right? It's just an instinctual thing. Your instincts are highly flawed. Your instincts are those instincts. They get tampered with when you're constantly being hit. And bro, once you're hardwired, once the wires in there, bro, and once those once you can't get those instinctual, it's like having a spidey sense, right? When you're being hit multiple times or you have no protection as a quarterback, it messes up those senses as a quarterback, man. Now you don't know when the pressure's coming. You're jittery. Your footwork's out of bro. It can get real serious, right? And so your quarterback needs protection. Jalen Hurts has that. Number two, your quarterback needs weapons. If your quarterback doesn't have weapons, who he's going to throw the ball to? Jalen Hurts also has weapons. Okay? The third and really critical piece that you need is continuity with your quarterback and the coaches. And that is a huge flaw that Jalen Hurts is missing. And that's why you see the turnovers. And that's why you see the progression. Jalen Hurts' progression isn't there because the Philadelphia Eagles are stagnating his progression. How are they doing that? Multiple different coordinators. Since Jalen Hurts has been drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, he's had 4 different offensive coordinators. Recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster. You wonder what's going on with Jalen Hurts? Look no more than that. He's had 4 offensive coordinators since being drafted by the Eagles. What the fuck? Why? Why would you do that to your quarterback? That shit is stupid. But this is what the Philadelphia Eagles are going to find a way to stagnate the progression of their quarterbacks. Bro, I was so proud of them because with Jalen Hurts, they were doing everything perfect. They went and got his college buddies. They went and got his best friend, AJ Brown. Bro, they got him his offensive line. He has the protection. Jalen Hurts has everything he needed to succeed. And it's been showing. Super Bowl, been to a Super Bowl, won multiple playoff games, breaking records. The contract, the MVP nominations. It was there. It was working perfectly. But now, yeah, preach, bro. I know, bro. Now, bro, listen to me, bro. It's the coordinators. Even if Kellen's a good coordinator, after a certain point, bro, you will fuck up your quarterback forever. These dudes are hardwired differently, bro. You got to have a plan with these guys, bro. Because, yes, they do fall off cliffs. They do become bad. And the Philadelphia Eagles, golly, bro, they got to be smarter than this. They've done everything right so far. Get Jalen Hurts, his coach, his coaching staff. Because I mean, at the end of the day, let's be honest, Jalen Hurts, he makes the most money on the team. Probably he makes the most money in that building. So he has a large say. You have to cater to the guy who's making that much amount. Who you have to cater to a guy who you give so much. He has so much of the resources for the team. He's a huge part of the team. Bro, you have to rectify this problem. I mean, it's fixable. But you may have to fire the head coach because Jalen Hurts. I honestly believe Jalen Hurts do not want to play for Nick Sirianni. I think Nick Sirianni is a lame duck coach. Okay. I think um I think Jalen Hurts' performance I'm gonna just say it, man. I'm gonna just say it. I think Jalen Hurts' performance, a large part of that is due to that friction with Nick Sirianni. But listen to me, bro. This is one-on-one how you three ways again, how you ruin your quarterbacks, right? You don't give them protection, you don't give them weapons, and you don't give them continuity at the coaching positions, right? The Philadelphia Eagles have done everything right, and they've been reaping the benefits of it, right? Jalen Hurts has been blossoming into a franchise quarterback that we all love and admire, right? He's him. But the ineptitude of the Philadelphia Eagles front office and not being able to acquire and secure a young, bright, talented offensive mind at the head coaching spot. That is ultimately right now the biggest problem with the Philadelphia Eagles and their quarterback. You got to go get a bright, young, offensive-minded quarterback. Coach. Sorry, wait. Let me run that back. You have to get a young, bright, intelligent offensive coordinator as your head coach to call plays. And this guy has to be strictly catered. His job has to be catered solely around making sure that Jalen Hurts is in the perfect situation schematically to succeed. That's what we need. Okay? So again, until Nick Sirianni is out the door, the Philadelphia Eagles may struggle until he's fired. I've said this months and months ago, man, dating back since last year. Until Nick Sirianni is out the door and they can get a guy that is strictly tailored towards Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles will be fine then. But until then, man, we got a conundrum here. Okay? We got a bit of a problem. And that problem is the continuity. Now, I mean, come on now. How long do you guys think it's going to take for Jalen Hurts to figure out another fucking playbook? Like, come on, man. If anything, Jalen Hurts and the offensive coordinator, it would all be set and tailored towards. You gotta look at it when they hired Nick Sirianni. They didn't hire Nick Sirianni for Jalen Hurts. They hired him for Carson Wentz. Get Jalen Hurts his people. You got him his guys on the field. You have to give him his guys off the field. Dotson did nothing. Nobody did nothing, bro. I mean, it's ineptitude, man. You have to I mean, bro, it's I mean, you don't it's then it's so early. I mean, the offense, the defense, bro, this shit's all a mess. It's all a mess. We have a new coaching staff. Thank God for Saquon Barkley. We got a new coaching staff. Man, it's all a hot mess because we're trying to figure this out on the go. You don't get an off season really. You don't get a preseason. I mean, everything is just so watered down from during the off season. You don't get any real work. These first 4 months is where where you know the Philadelphia Eagles are figuring everything out. This is like their practice, their preseason early on during the season, man. And right now, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's still time to figure it out. I mean, voice funny though. Hey, look, that definitely they definitely need to tackle. There's no such thing as tackling in the NFL, my boy. That's over with. Your defenses are gonna be hurting bad, man. They're gonna be struggling, right? That's why you go get edge rushers. If we had edge rushers, that will alleviate 90% of what's going on with Philadelphia. That's why you draft edge rushers. Look, edge rushers. This is my saying on edge rushers. Edge rushers they cover a multitude of sins, right? You can do so much wrong. Your team can be really bad. If you have edge rushers day in and day out, you can be in every game. They can single-handedly win you multiple games. The Philadelphia Eagles should just start stockpiling edge rushers and pray for their pass rush to get there. You know, and you blitz. You get a coordinator. You get a coordinator that's going to send pressure. But again, this is all a part of Nick Sirianni's philosophy. He doesn't necessarily believe in you know, pressure and stuff like that. But man, look, that's his philosophy. That's why every coordinator you see, they're gonna have this. They have to adhere to Nick Sirianni and his belief that the defense you win games by not giving up big plays. So you don't take chances. You don't blitz, right? So you get a defense that don't apply pressure. And that's probably the worst defense to ever have. When you got a defense that doesn't apply pressure, the defense really they don't do anything good, right? But I just don't understand. And then you let your best pass rusher walk out the door. Like, I mean, I just don't understand. Quinion Mitchell is going to be a dog. So I mean, I'm glad you get him, but Howie, you go get edge rushers. You stockpile them. That's the biggest weakness with the Philadelphia Eagles, their philosophy and everything else. And I mean, until they ditch this whole belief that you know, you just sit back and you don't be aggressive on defense, you just keep everything in front of you and don't give up big plays. You instill a sense of fear in your defense. Your defense should be attacking and aggressive. No, our defense has guys being reactive. Right? They're reacting to what's going on instead of enforcing what's going on. And again, bro, I can tie everything wrong with this team to Nick Sirianni. But I mean, I've done that so many times. It's like that'd be just like beating on a dead horse. I'm done with it. Okay. The fact of the matter is this: people are starting to turn on Jalen Hurts because of turnovers. I mean, I can understand the frustration, but you never turn your back on your quarterback. I don't give a fuck if it's if you got Taylor Swift back there at quarterback. I ain't give him. I ain't. I even bro. You can have the worst quarterback in the NFL. You with quarterbacks, you do not do that. You can't be, bro. They hardwired their psyche. Jalen Hurts is different, right? But I mean, bro, with quarterbacks, man, you have to be real delicate with them. You say I hate being a Saints fan, man. Hey, I don't know. I don't think the Saints really got it that bad. I don't really think the Saints really got it that bad, bro. Honestly, man. Um, Damn, what I was saying. Let me see what the comments talking about. Ain't Hurt's fault. It ain't, bro. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yo, look, bro, you can't really blame. You can't. It's you gotta. I don't know, man. You gotta treat quarterbacks differently, man. You know, they're delicate creatures. Okay, you gotta treat them. You gotta treat them differently, man. I just really try to support the quarterback because when things are going bad, it's always their fault. And when I mean, they go through a lot of scrutiny and pressure as is, right? Now, I'm not. That doesn't mean they don't deserve criticism. Jalen Hurts, but it's hard for me to criticize Jalen Hurts, right? But due to turnovers. It's hard for me to do that because I know the situation that he's in, right? With the different coordinators, and I mean they don't know how to. Shane Steichen was the only guy who knew how to correctly utilize Jalen Hurts. I mean, and it's tough because he's a unique talent. But that's why you go get somebody young and somebody that's who can. You got to go get a bright mind. And I think Kellen Moore is that. But again, man, I'm not really overreacting, right? It's early on in the season, and the Philadelphia Eagles are figuring it out. That's all. They're just figuring it out right now. I'm not saying fucking get rid of Jalen Hurts and do all this other stuff. No, bro. It's early. We're injured. We're banged up. We'll get healthy, figure it out. Jalen Hurts to get more accustomed to the playbook and things like that. Things should smooth over. But in the meantime, the more pressing situation is edge rusher, pass rusher. And I knew it. I made a whole video. I mean, I was under the impression the Philadelphia Eagles had no other option but to go edge rushers. I was sold 100%, and they didn't do it, and they're suffering severely. I mean, you got some young DBs. I feel like you throw them into the fire, and you get a nice accumulation of talent at the pass rusher positions, and you pin your ears back, and you bank on your edge rushers causing chaos. That'll make it easier for the DBs in the back end, right? But they didn't go that route. And I mean, bro, one thing you need to win if you don't have pass rushers if you don't have a pass rush in the NFL, you are nothing. You're not doing nothing. Okay. You may go to the playoffs, but you're not doing anything, bro. Honestly. Okay, without a pass rush. So the Philadelphia Eagles really may be in a jam. They really may be in a jam because they don't have any edge rushers. They need edge rushers, and I don't think it's a quick fix because you need a lot of them. And I mean, how we do? I mean, Quinion is a dog, and Cooper's gonna be good. So I think he may have hit on his picks. So I can't really, but I can't say I would much rather prefer an edge rusher over Quinion, right? So I mean, at least how we picked the right guys. So I can't really be mad or be like, oh, you should have did this. No, because the Quinion is a star. I love that kid, bro. Quinion is gonna be nice. So I can't even say they shouldn't drafted him. But Howie, you definitely you don't go into the season with Bryce Huff and Josh Sweat at edge. Come on, man. You don't do that. And Brandon Graham, who's retiring. We need a bye week, a high week, please survive week. We need all type of weeks, okay? But we need all the weeks we can get, okay? Can we get like a couple extra weeks to like get healthy? Like, is there some way we can? Yeah, bro, I feel that the NFL needs multiple bye weeks. We need We need back to back to back. But I think we'll be fine once we get healthier. We get AJ and Devonta back. I think we'll be good. The offense will be fine. I think we straight. I'm not really, but I mean, in the long run down the line, you cannot operate this team with this mentality that you can just plug and play these offensive coordinators with no consideration to how it's affecting your star quarterback. Come on, that's pitiful, that's pathetic. And for us to be such a great for us to be deemed or considered as one of the top ran organizations like we have been for the last 15, 20 years, you cannot have a revolving door at the at these coaching positions, right? And then look stupid when Jalen Hurts isn't performing as well, right? So they get it together. We should be fine. But right now, I'm not even panicking, man. But people are turning their backs on Jay Hurts, which is wild. You never turn your back on your quarterback, fools. What's wrong with y'all? You never turn your back on your quarterback, stupid. Yeah, Jalen Hurts been playing like dog shit. But guess what? Y'all know how I'm rocking. I'm going to rock out with my gout. I'm going to rock out. Bro, you got to. You got to. You got to rock out with your quarterback, with your guys. Especially with your quarterback. You got to. Even with Carson Wentz, Tim Tebow, Sam Bradford, Nick Foles when they first drafted him. I was all in. Right? So I'm not turning my back on Jalen, bro. I'm not doing that, bro. When I know that Philadelphia Eagles refuse to give him some continuity at the coordinator position and fucking they fired Nick Sirianni. I bet you things start looking better. Hey man, I got some content coming for y'all soon.